European Wind Energy Association. By 2020, Europe aims to meet its target of 20% of renewable energy in order to fight climate change. However, the European crisis might be a critical barrier for the development of wind energy. So how the European Wind Energy Associations can adapt and maintain deadlines with the EU's financial structures and organizational support. What is EWEA? The European Wind Energy Association is the world's largest and most powerful wind energy network. It actively promoting the utilization of wind powers in Europe and worldwide. EWEA is located in the Renewable Energy House in Brussels, with ensuring them to stay close to European decision makers. It has over 700 members from nearly 60 countries. The members including manufacturers, component supplier, research institute, national wind and renewable associations, developers, contractors, electric providers, finance company, insurance company, and consultants. So what do they do? To support its members' requirements, EWEA coordinates international policy, communications, research and analysis, and provide various services, which they achieve by doing organize numerous regular events such as conferences, exhibitions, seminars, and workshops. EWEA analyzes, formulates, and establishes policy positions for the wind industry on key issues. They are cooperating with industry and research institutions on a number of market development and technology research projects. In addition, it also undertakes lobbying activity to create a suitable legal framework within which members can successfully develop their business. What is wind energy? Wind is a clean source of renewable energy that produces no air or water pollution. Wind turbines capture the energy of moving air and convert it into electricity. As long as the sun shines, the wind will blow and people will harness it into power of their life. Most wind energy comes from turbines that can be as tall as 20-story building and have 3 200-foot-long blades. The wind spins the blades, which turn a shaft connected into a generator that produces electricity. And since the wind is free, operational costs are nearly zero once a turbine is erected. Mass production and technology advance are making turbines cheaper. Wind energy market and demand. Wind energy industry is booming. Globally, generation more than a quadruplet. At the end of last year, global capacity was more than 70,000 megawatts, which is a single megawatt is enough to provide electricity up to 250 homes. Germany has the most installed wind capacity, followed by Spain, United States, India, and Denmark. Development is also fast growing in France and China. Industry experts predict that by 2050, wind energy will be one-third of the world's electricity needs. European Union Wind Energy and Growth. Revealed by the EWEA, the wind energy industry in Europe makes a significant contribution to the EU's economy. In 2010, the wind energy sector contributed 32.43 billion to the EU's GDP, and increase in contribution from the previous years was 4%, which is twice as high as the growth of GDP itself. Between 2007 and 2010, the wind energy sector increased its contribution to GDP by 33%, which is growing much faster than EU's economy as a whole. This will remain the case over the next 2 decades. Public acceptance of wind energy in Europe. A 2007 Eurobarometer survey shows that European Union citizens demonstrate a positive view of renewable energy projects when asked about their expectation in 30 years' time. According to the 2011 surveys, Europeans were more favorable to renewable energy than other energy sources, particularly in solar, wind, and hydroelectric. Wind in particular is acknowledged as the key technology in the future energy mix. Finland and Poland emerged as the top countries most favored in wind energy. Wind power installation in Europe. Annual installation of wind power have increased steadily over the last 17 years with an annual average market growth of 15.6%. As you can see in the first chart, wind power accounts for 21% of the new installation in 2011, which is the third biggest share after solar power and gas. In terms of annual installation, Germany was by far the largest market in 2011, which is installing almost 2,100 megawatts of new capacity, which is followed by UK and Spain. As you can see from the graph, in 2000, the annual wind power installation of the three pioneering countries, Denmark, Germany, and Spain, represent about 85% of all European Union wind capacity additions. In 2011, this share has decreased to 34%, which shows that wind power is increasingly being installed across Europe. The goal to reach. By 2020, Europe aims to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 20% of renewable energy in order to fight climate change. The ripple effect of European Union crisis. Some European governments are overwhelmed by their debts. Renewables are seen as a small detail and they are totally absorbed in coping with the budget difficulty. For example, Spain stopped any new funding for renewable because of the country's debt problems. The renewable industry faced mounting competition from fossil fuels like coal and natural gas, whose prices have fallen during the global financial crisis. The world's biggest manufacturer of wind turbines took an axe to 3,000 jobs in its native northern Europe. The uncertainty in the EU is holding back investment at the moment. Wind turbines manufacturers and utility companies are finding it more difficult to borrow money from banks to finance wind farm projects. EWEA Wind Energy Strategy to Achieve. EWEA acts as a single European voice to promote, through the joint effort of its members, the best interests of the wind energy sectors. They develop and communicate effective strategy, policies, and initiatives to influence the political process in a direction that maintains and creates stable markets and overcome barriers to the deployment of wind energy. They also turn the opportunity created by the large turnover in Europeans generating capacity over the next 2 decades into benefit for the European wind energy sectors. Furthermore, they develop European positions as a driver for global growth of wind energy sectors in close coordination with national, regional, and global organizations and companies. They communicate the benefit and potential of the wind energy into politicians, opinion formers, decision makers, business, the media, the public, and other stakeholders. And they also act as the central networks on the wind energy issues for its members and interact with wider constituencies.